Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the garage. Gerald here with you. Holy shit, guys. Ari Aster is one of the elite filmmakers in Hollywood currently, in my opinion. He burst onto the scene with Hereditary in 2018, a 10 out of 10 movie for me for a debut for a director, which is weird. Then he came back just like a year later with Midsummer, and that was also a 10 out of 10 for me. Or Midsommar. I don't know. I've always said Midsummer. I don't know. No matter what you call it, they were both bangers. Now, with Beau is Afraid a couple years ago, I was a little more lukewarm on that one. That would be more like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 for me. I really, really loved a lot of things about it, but it just wasn't that kind of vintage Ari Aster that I had gotten used to. Now, his new film, Eddington, is super perplexing in terms of like what it's going to be. It's been in the awards discussion, and since I do early Oscars predictions, I've been talking about it for a couple months now, and all I've heard is that it's been described as a bit of a Western horror political thriller comedy. But if I can trust in anybody to kind of mix those genres together, it is Mr. Ari Aster. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. It also just got announced that it's going to be premiering at Cannes next month. So they released a teaser trailer today for it. I'm assuming it's a teaser because I haven't seen it yet. I pulled it up. It's only a minute long. So my guess is it's going to be some kind of quick teaser. It's probably not going to give us a lot of information, but maybe we can get an idea of the tone. Maybe we'll see Joaquin Phoenix or some of the other performances, the setting, the production design. Maybe we'll see a couple things that give us a little hint into what this thing's going to look like. Let's watch this teaser for Eddington together, and then I'll give you some quick thoughts on what my takeaways are at the end. So, all right, so let's get this thing in here. Let's see what we're looking at. And play.
Of course, they keep looking at that lab in Wuhan, China. If you look at that lab in Wuhan when that was established, it was 1956. Of course, that was the year Tom Hanks was born, the first celebrity with the virus, Mr. Sleepless in Seattle.
If you value your life, you should think twice. Because the people of Eddington like guns.
Your pain is not a coincidence. You are not a coincidence.
Oh.
We are not a coincidence.
And I'm speaking now to deny my husband's announcement yesterday, which was false.
Eddington, New Mexico, despite its meager population, is quickly being co-opted in online circles.
I'm ready to continue leading our town and fighting the pandemic and the racial and economic.
Town rocked by murders. That's it. Oh boy. I'm going to rewatch it in a second. Let me give you guys some quick thoughts here. All right, so as expected, we didn't really get a lot of information there. However, it was a town ravaged by murders, I think that one news report said, and the sheriff, who was played by Joaquin Phoenix, apparently attacked a reporter that was investigating those murders. So I didn't know really about the murder tie-in. So I don't know if that's going to be like a serial killer tie-in or... I don't know. I didn't expect that part. So that kind of intrigues me, makes me excited. So what do we see there? We saw a huge social media presence, right? There's a lot of various social media posts, Instagram, etc., where we see a lot of the stars of our film or people that are on the cast list. The ones that really, really stood out to me just in that quick clip was Austin Butler. I think he was playing like a preacher, I think, or a minister of some kind. And it looked like he was preaching to a crowd there. And he seemed very animated, the long hair. I don't know. I don't know if Mr. Butler might be in for something. I've got him being nominated for his role in I think it's the Aronofsky film, Caught Stealing. But supporting actor maybe for Eddington. Who knows? I mean, that looked good in just that like 5-second clip we got of him there. We saw Emma Stone. Pretty, basic, monotone, just kind of speaking to the camera, talking head situation. So we didn't really get to see a lot of animated acting from her. But you got to imagine she's going to be top tier as well. He got a freaking awesome cast in this. Obviously, Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal are the two kind of leads in the film. I assume the lead's going to be Joaquin, but they might be co-leads. I'm not sure. And my understanding is Joaquin is the sheriff. Pedro Pascal is the mayor. This is taking place in 2020 during the COVID pandemic when most of America is on lockdown. And I guess Joaquin doesn't want to lock down the town. Pedro Pascal wants to lock down the town as the mayor. So I don't know if there's going to be party lines kind of mentioned there or just two differing opinions. Now it turns out there's murders going on in the town. That's really cool. I didn't know that was going to be happening. Not that murder is cool. I mean, in an Ari Aster film. What else did we see there? We didn't really see any of the setting because it was just a bunch of social media clips and news reels. There was even a weather report. Nothing is going to change my excitement based on what we saw in that teaser, but also nothing really increased my excitement. I was already at like a 99% excitement for this movie, and I'm still pretty much there. I love that Ari Aster is going to, once again, it's clear, take a giant swing with this movie. It's going to be long. I heard the original cut was like 3.5 hours. I'm not sure what they whittled it down to yet. And it's going to be multiple genres mixed together in one production, which is not going to be easy to pull off. I mentioned elements of a Western, elements of apparently a murder mystery, which I didn't even know. Comedic, I've heard it's like a black comedy in a lot of ways. Obviously, there's a political messaging in there with the COVID pandemic and the use of, he mentioned guns. Joaquin Phoenix mentioned they love their guns in Eddington. And then, of course, with the pandemic political side of that also, with the face mask, etc. Thriller. I mean, you got to imagine there's going to be some thriller elements built in there. And then Ari Aster always has a knack for kind of incorporating the overarching kind of horror influence too. So that'll probably be lurking in the shadows as well. Man, this guy is easily one of the most exciting filmmakers in Hollywood. And whenever he has a project coming out, first day, front row, I'm there, I'm seated, I'm ready to see this thing. Eddington, I wish that we'd gotten a little bit more from that trailer, but I'm also not ready to say it's not an awards player. And I'm also not ready to say, oh, that's a major awards player. I'm just kind of like sitting here waiting still. And even after the teaser. From an award standpoint, the only thing I really saw in that teaser that would be like, oh my God, made me perk up a little bit is Austin Butler for supporting. I mean, honestly, that was really an interesting 5 or 10 second thing he had there. I'm going to go back and rewatch it, and I'll probably notice some other things on my second watch. Let me know what you guys thought of that teaser for Eddington. Are you a fan of Ari Aster? Are you excited to see this film? Are you perhaps going to be at Cannes to see this movie? I know a few of my friends are going to be down there seeing it. Let me know down below, and thanks for tuning into this trailer reaction. I'll see you guys out here next time in the garage.